Hello, UECP family. Welcome to the last night of our prayer and fasting week. I hope that even after tonight, we would still allocate a big amount of our time in prayer. Prayer always works, and it never fails. It is what the Lord's disciples asked Him to teach them. Prayer must never become optional to us. If it becomes optional, then we are doomed. But if it is truly part of our life, then we are perfectly secure in the hands of our Heavenly Father. Tonight, we'll be looking at the life of David. We'll be looking at 1 Samuel chapter 23 as to how David listens to God's guidance. David was first introduced in 1 Samuel 16. By chapter 23, David already killed Goliath. He already entered the king's service, and he was successful in all he does because the Lord is with him. However, his success was envied by Saul. The envy was so great that Saul attempted to kill David but was unsuccessful. By the end of chapter 20, David was already sort of a refugee. David was called the man after God's own heart. But when we read 1 Samuel chapter 21, it seems that the text does not picture out an image of a man after God's own heart. We see David telling lies to the priest Ahimelech that King Saul sent him on a mission. And during their conversation, Doeg, who is Saul's chief shepherd, saw them talking. And this led to Saul killing 85 priests in chapter 22. David also pretended to be insane in front of King Achish by the end of chapter 21. Why is all these things happening to David? I believe the clear answer is because God is not in the picture. Though David experienced success because God was with him, he failed to inquire of the Lord in this particular episode of his life. In the same way, we can be a Christian and yet fail to experience the fullness of life God's promise because of our lack in prayer. In chapter 23, David learned his lesson already. When news came to him that the Philistines are fighting against Keilah and are looting at the threshing floor, he inquired of the Lord. This is the first time recorded in the Bible that David inquired of the Lord. He could have just attacked them, since David has no record yet of his loss. Remember, he killed Goliath, who is also a Philistine. The Lord answered and said to David, "Attack the Philistine and save Keilah." By this time, David was ready to fight, but his men were still afraid. So David inquired of the Lord once again, and the Lord replied. This time, the Lord's reply came with the outcome of the battle. The Lord said, "He will give the Philistines into his hand," and this is what exactly happened. David inflicted heavy losses on the Philistines and saved the people of Keilah. We see here in David's life that the more we inquired of the Lord, the more God is willing to reveal His plan to us. Could it be that the very reason that we can't see God's plan in our own life is because of our lack of prayer? There is absolutely great difference between a life of a Christian who lacks prayer and a life of a Christian full of prayer. Let me ask you, how is your prayer life? How are you talking with the Lord on a daily basis? Does the prayer time you set each day increases? Or does it limit your time with God? UECP family, This 2022, let us all together make a decision to become a prayerful Christian. If you have yet to experience the power of prayer, make prayer as your one non-negotiable goal this year. The best way to learn and experience the power of prayer is by praying. God bless you.